Well, good evening or good afternoon. It's good to be with you again as we focus on Jesus' 7 words to the cross. I'm really grateful for the participation of so many people in the small groups, and some folks are doing this study with their families at home, and it is just a delight as we have been challenged in many ways. Someone made the comment to me that Lent wasn't quite as comfortable this year as we were focusing on the words to the cross. Of course, the first 3 weeks, we heard some things that we would rather not hear. Words about the word of scorn, how so much mocking was done of Jesus. And we heard about the late word and how at times we go through the woulda, coulda, shouldas of life. And then week 3, it was the word of indifference and how so many of us live lives that are just not too concerned about what goes on around us. And those of us that are concerned, we get overwhelmed by what can we do? The word of indifference. We are called to action. Even if it's just one area of life that we can be passionate about, that God calls us to. Then last week it turned more positive as we embraced the word of faith, and how it is that even the thief on the cross could come to living eternal faith in Jesus Christ, even in the last moments of his life. And so we recalled that it is never too late to come into a relationship with Christ. We're never too bad that God would not receive us if we would simply turn. And, well, we are never too good. Sometimes we think we are, but we are never too good to need God's grace. Well, this week we focus on the word of witness. And the word of witness reminds us of the faith of the centurion, the Roman centurion. And so we have this scene on the cross, as you can see, and on the right side, the far right side, is that Roman centurion. And he is in wonder and in awe. We also see on this slide that the Roman centurion maybe has been pondering what's been going on this whole day. The centurion would have been in charge of the Roman soldiers that were at Jesus' cross. And this one man would have been there the whole time. Maybe others weren't there all the time. Maybe the women weren't right close all the time. Maybe the disciples, and we know they were scattered, but they could have been around some. But the Roman centurion saw it all. He heard all of Jesus' words from the cross. He saw how he died. Well, John Wesley, the founder of Methodism, he had these words of encouragement to his preachers. He said that every Methodist preacher should know how to do 3 things: to pray, to study, and to die. We need to be ready at a moment's notice to preach, pray, or die. John Wesley himself, on his deathbed, at least the witnesses say that he died well, and he even had his last words were word of faith. The word of faith. Best of all, God is with us. But for myself, I have experienced the death of my parents, the death of other family members, the death of many people throughout the years in congregations. And death is not so very pretty. And yet there was something in the death of Jesus Christ where the Roman centurion, by the end of the day, when it was all said and done, he said, truly, this was the Son of God. The word of testimony. Now, he probably didn't intend to preach a sermon that day, but just those few words have carried through the generations. He was probably overheard by the women. We don't know his motivation, but we sense it was an expression of his heart when he saw the way that Jesus died. J. Ellsworth Callis in the book comments that none of us who use that expression, the Son of God, use it in the same way. Our experience of God, of course, varies by the time of life and our experiences. Our witnesses should flow from who we are in an authentic manner when we have knelt down, at least figuratively in our hearts, at the foot of the cross of Jesus Christ. So the centurion gushed out his heartfelt expression of faith and his witness that has come to us through the ages. So we have the word of testimony. And I wonder what your word of testimony might be. What might mine be? We do know that our words of testimony are all different. They're all unique. They're all about us, and they vary from age to age, you know. The word of faith and testimony of a child is much different than that of an adult. The word of faith of somebody that has just gone through crisis or trauma or abuse and come to faith is much different than one who has simply lived their life in the ministry and guidance of the church. The word of faith, the word of testimony. What is important is that no matter how we come to that word of testimony in our life, no matter how we come to understand the meaning of this is the Son of God, it is important that we come and that we stand ready when the moment bubbles up in our hearts to let our testimony out. Let people know that we know truly the Son of God is alive. Amen.